Hey everyone, thanks for joining us here. I thought it'd be fun to start on the outdoors, the great outdoors here in Keene, Texas, and show you what you're looking at is the driveway, or this is actually a road. This is North Valverde Road, and it goes down over there and ends in a fence. And just across that fence, if you can see that building, I'll try and zoom in on it. That building there is where I work. As a matter of fact, that window you're looking at is my office. Isn't that that's crazy, isn't it? And if I could get through that fence, I could just walk to work straight across the road. Unfortunately, that fence is locked, and the people who live on the other side don't want people walking through their side yard, so I have to walk all the way around and go the long way if I'm going to walk to work. But yeah, this is our road coming into the house. It's a dead end. And that is the current Texas sky. We were told we were going to have rain for 4 days, and it's like drizzled on and off a few times. But so the Keene, Texas weather is very similar to Lincoln weather. They'll tell you what it's going to do, and then it doesn't. It all changes. And this is the great big radio tower sitting outside across the street from us. That is the radio tower for the university's radio station, which isn't but like 2 doors down from us. And if I go this way and I look into the house, here's the window of our house. Whatever shall we see? Oh my, there's Miranda. Yay! And so anyway, I thought that would be fun, just to give you a tour of the outside. And so that's our car with the carrier still on top because I can't find the key to unlock it so that I can get to the bolt so I can take it off. And when that thing's empty, it rattles down the highway. So anyway, heading in, we're going to kick it over to Miranda while I put this camera on the other tripod.
Well, hello. Yes, today I don't know what, honestly I don't know what Brett has already mentioned, what we're talking about or such tonight, but what we're talking about are the three who believed. The three people who Jesus said, these people have so much faith. And so basically, all three of these people are in need of something, and they know that they cannot do it for themselves. No doubt they had tried other avenues, but it wasn't happening. And so they had placed all of their faith in Jesus. And so all three of these people had three things in common, and we'll be talking about those tonight. And first of all, first of all, the three people we're talking about is the centurion who asked Jesus to heal his servant, and the woman who touched the hem of his garment, and then the Gentile woman who wanted Jesus to deliver her daughter from demon possession. And so all three of them had three things in common. And the first one was that they all claimed basically to be unworthy. They knew that they were unworthy of Jesus doing this for them, but they had no other recourse to get what they really, really needed and wanted. So we have the centurion who in Luke 7 verse 6 just comes right out and says it. He says,
wait.
Unworthy. Well,
I'm
supposed to wait.
Yes,
You're
wait.
You're the one who's just dilly-dallying.
I'm not dilly-dallying. I'm doing stuff.
Dilly-dallying.
Important stuff.
Important stuff.
Important things. I made text slides so you can read along. Oh, I got it. The phone was about to die, so I had to plug it in. Okay. So I'm going to read, which one's the first one?
The centurion.
We're going to read the centurion. And Aspen has handy dandy text slides I created, so we're going to show them. Otherwise, I feel like I wasted an hour before the broadcast. Here we go. This is Luke chapter 7. It says, after he had finished all his sayings in the hearing of the people, he entered Capernaum. Now a centurion had a servant who was sick and at the point of death, which is kind of interesting because this is a centurion with a servant who was highly valued by him. When the centurion heard about Jesus, he sent him to the elders of the Jews, asking him to come and heal his servant. And when they came to Jesus, they pleaded with him earnestly, saying, he is worthy to have you do this for him, for he loves our nation, and he is the one who built us our synagogue. And Jesus went with them. When he was not far from the house, the centurion sent friends, saying to him, Lord, do not trouble yourself, for I am not worthy to have you come under my roof. Therefore I did not presume to come to you. But say the word, and let my servant be healed. For I too am a man set under authority, with soldiers under me. And I say to one, go, and he goes, and to another, come, and he comes, and to my servant, do this, and he does it. And when Jesus heard these things, he marveled at him, and turning to the crowd that followed him, said, I tell you, not even in Israel have I found such faith. And when those who had been sent returned to the house, they found the servant well.
I said what I was going to say about the centurion.
Oh, you did?
Yes, while you were busy dilly-dallying.
Oh.
I said that, well, basically, actually, I guess part of the reason that he didn't want to have Jesus to his house was, I understand that he understood all the rules and whatnot that the Jews had, and presumed, therefore, that Jesus wouldn't even be able to come into his house for becoming unclean. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, he said he wasn't worthy, and that's one of the three things that he held in common with the other three, that Jesus is like, wow, these people have such great faith.
Yeah, and it's interesting because also that, there would have been the Jewish laws that would have, made him a Gentile and unclean and this kind of thing. But also that the Jews hated the Romans. And the Romans were not real thrilled with anybody other than Romans, but especially they had a special place of hatred in their heart for Jews because the Jewish nation was so much trouble and problematic. And and yet the elders that the centurion sent said, this guy deserves your help because he did help build the synagogue. So it shows you that even in that day and age, there were the Romans hate the Jews and the Jews hate the Romans, and yet inside of that, there were still people who were good people. I say good, but this centurion didn't have to do anything for Jews, and yet apparently he helped them build a synagogue. So that was something he totally didn't have to do, but did do. And yet he felt so unworthy that first he sent people to get Jesus. And then in the time that it took them to go find Jesus and start on their way home, he really felt totally unworthy, like, I can't have Jesus in my house. I am not worthy of this man to come even under my roof. Therefore, I can't even go in his presence. And so he sent other people to stop him and just say, I'm not worthy of even being in your vision, in your presence. So just, if you say it, it'll happen. And that was a kind of a testament to his faith in the power and authority of Jesus. He saw Jesus as a son of God, probably as a son of a God. I don't know if he had the full faith that he was the son of God, like the Jewish God, but he did believe enough in that power and authority that he knew, because of his own experience, that, as he said, I say this and it happens. If it doesn't happen, people die. That's the power and authority of a centurion. And he says, I know you have greater authority than me. And if you say it, I know it's going to happen. And that, even in that impure, very incomplete faith, Jesus marveled and said, I haven't found faith like that in Israel. And his faith was totally broken and, not a pure faith, but it was greater than things Jesus had seen from the Jews themselves. because this centurion had such powerful belief in what Jesus' authority was. And even with all that, he felt so unworthy to even be in Jesus' presence.
Yeah, I would guess then the difference between his faith and the faith of Jews then would be the Jews kind of put faith in themselves.
Yeah.
And all of their good works and such, rather than this guy was just like, I'm entirely unworthy, I can do nothing of my own. Well,
he believed the Jews were probably, a Roman would have looked at the Jews and gone, well, that's ridiculous. You have all, and they did. They put their faith in that they were Jews and the chosen, and they were keeping the law and in their own thing. And that Roman could have looked at that and gone, well, that's ridiculous. But seeing Jesus as something completely outside of that, has nothing to do with their faith, this man has authority, yeah. Because the Jews would have been all about what they were doing and how they were keeping the law and that they were the... Yeah.
And they kind of recommended the centurion by the same set of standards that they use themselves, because they came to Jesus and said, this man is worthy because he has done this and he has done that. And that's kind of how they rated themselves as well.
Yeah, and yet the centurion was one that had I'm really not worthy. Yeah. That's true.
Yep.
Moving on.
Yes. The woman who touched the hem of his garment. Because,
I have slides for that too, when you're ready.
Oh, what she said was, if I can just touch his garment, I shall be made whole. Matthew 9:21. I mean, it sounds like she's just trying to not bother the man. He's busy. Just touch his garment, that's all. And then I'll leave him alone.
Let's read the story. Because I made slides. Can you tell I'm proud of my slide making ability? I am prideful in my slides. Oh no! I must be brought low. This is from, actually this one's from Luke, but it's the same story. And it says, and a woman was there who had been subject to bleeding for 12 years, but no one could heal her. She came up behind him and touched the edge of his cloak, and immediately her bleeding stopped. Who touched me? Jesus asked. When they all denied it, Peter said, Master, the people are crowding and pressing against you. But Jesus said, someone touched me. I know that power has gone out from me. Then the woman, seeing that she could not go unnoticed, came trembling and fell at his feet. In the presence of all people, she told why she had touched him and said how she had been instantly healed. Then he said to her, Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace. It reminds me of a story, but it's not particularly spiritually enlightening. Do you remember when we had the Korean students and we took them to the inauguration in D.C.?
Yeah.
So when we were at Highland View Academy, there was, I don't know, how many students were there?
Oh, at least 120-ish?
So, and you were doing something with them.
Well, I had been teaching them the classes.
You had been teaching the classes.
English classes.
And I think I just went along as a sponsor on the trip. I don't think I was teaching them anything.
No.
Yeah.
No, you replaced my going.
Okay, so it was the second inauguration of President Obama, and they were in town, so they thought it would be fun to take the Korean kids to the inauguration. And if you've seen pictures of the inauguration, I mean, when we got to the train station, the subway, and even trying to get in and on the subway and then out and off the subway, it literally was, I thought of this story because I was thinking this is what it must have been like. I mean, you couldn't move. If someone had died, they would have remained standing for a couple of hours before they could have got to them because there was nowhere to fall down. And I just remember standing there in the middle of the crowd thinking, I wonder if this is kind of what it must have been like. And so I yelled out, someone touched me. And no one got it. So it was, no. All the Korean kids looked at me like, huh? And I'm like, never mind. But
yep.
a Bible moment that no one caught.
Anyways, I do find it interesting that this section that you just read about the Gentile, or the woman who touched the hem of his garment, Jesus said, because of your faith, you've been healed. Now go in peace. Mm-hmm. And that's what having faith really creates all this peace in our lives. Because no more, the burden of doing and such isn't on us anymore. We aren't carrying that anymore. We can have the peace that God and Jesus is just going to take care of us.
Well, I think it's a big point. You just said that the burden of doing, like earning, I have to earn an answer to this prayer. I have to earn this whatever. And the truth being that you can never earn it, so you'll never feel, quote unquote, good enough. So you're constantly working, so you're never at peace. And then you're talking about that piece of rest of saying, why am I doing this? This does nothing for my faith. This is not about me. But here again also, so the woman told herself if she could just touch the hem of his garment. So this was also not a pure faith. She was mixing faith and superstition, because she was like, I just have to touch him because there's something magical about this man. If I touch him, I will be healed. And so she had this faith and belief in Jesus, but also, like the centurion, it wasn't a pure faith. It wasn't, this is Jesus, the Son of God, the Savior. There was something special about him. There's something powerful about him. She knew he was a Messiah of type, and just if she could get close and touch him, she would be healed. And so it was sort of like faith and superstition mixed together, and yet Jesus still honored that. And that's, I think, same way as the centurion, he's thinking to himself, here's a woman who's in the place. I can do nothing. This isn't about me, but I believe this man can heal me. I believe he is in her mind, some sort of person of God, and that he would heal her. And God honored that faith, even a superstitious mixed with faith, And he didn't say, here's another example of greater faith than I've seen in Israel. But it's very similar to the centurion's in that she had a total, desperate belief and relying on Jesus, because no one else, not and herself even, couldn't do anything to help her. As a centurion, he knew there's nothing I can do. Only the power of this man can do this.
And then the story of the Gentile woman, she said, but even the dogs are allowed to eat the scraps that fall beneath their master's table. So she was perfectly willing to identify herself as a dog around the table.
And this is the faith Canaanite woman. So this is like Jonah going to the Ninevites. This woman was a Canaanite, evil to the core. They hated the Yes.
You're frozen.
I'm frozen.
You're very frozen.
Uh-oh. In case you want to read it, if I can't get back, because I don't know what's going on. All right, let me see what's going on.
Well, the sound's still working.
All right, let me get it. When did we freeze?